Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraka, and on Street Talk we deal with political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me tonight,
Dennis Burnside.
Okay, we got a lot to cover, but how about this thing that happened in Kansas, where people have been voting at this one place in the middle of the city, and all of a sudden, it's closed, and they pretended that the people was working on it, but Rachel Maddow showed it one night. People was almost 2 blocks from it, working.
Yeah, well, they said that you're talking about the city center, just like we have here in town. And the day before the election and the day after the election, they had all these different activities planned. But the day of the election, they claimed that they needed to move it out of Dodge City, a mile out of town, and away from the bus lines, so that they could do construction in this center. So there's no construction. There was no.
But because there was construction going
No,
on.
no, they actually said there was construction going on in the building, in the very building. So, but there was none. There was some on a building adjacent, but not in the main one. At least it didn't prevent any of these other activities from going on. Just the day of the election, so you had people disenfranchised. It's the same old thing, man. In Georgia, you had 1.5 million people removed from the voting rolls by Brian Kemp over a 2-year period as he acted as Secretary of State. You had over 6,000 applications to register put on hold. You had 4.5-hour lines so that people.
6,000, but they were like 52 or 53,000.
You're right. It was like 50,000. It was 50 to 60,000 that were put on hold, and then you had 4.5-hour lines average.
Yeah.
And then again, we want to walk around and talk about we believe in democracy. We love democracy and the democratic values. No, you don't. You love power. You love power. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You want power.
You know.
Well, I think there's good news coming, though. You've seen the Democratic Party won, as of 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock this morning, 37 seats that were previously Republican. Now they have the House. And there may be as many as 40, 41 seats. So Trump's taxes are going to be subpoenaed. Trump's going to be put under oath. You're going to see true investigations of what was all the malfeasance, not just the Russian investigation, but so many of the things that the Republicans have done with, just unabashedly, no oversight, nobody to check the president or check their own impulses. That's all changing now. You're going to have true House hearings, and Adam Schiff.
Did you notice how we spell Schiff there?
Well, I was just about to say that. The man who's going to be probably going to be the chair of the Democratic Judicial Committee, a very respected and an intellectual man, was referred to by the quote unquote president of the United States is Adam Schitt. Now you figure out how to pronounce that. Now that's how a 7th grader talks, and he's supposed to be the president of the United States. And so all the name calling, all the ridiculing, all the firing up of his ignorant, illiterate base doesn't matter anymore. Those days are gone. So now, I think what you're going to see with the Mueller report and the Democrats controlling the House is an avalanche of bad news coming out that they just can't spin and lie their way out of and call it fake news. I think at that point, you're going to see enough people who have been stubbornly holding on because they like the tax cuts, they like the the way that the Republican Party has been able to legislate for the benefit of the wealthy and the corporations. They're going to get to the point they're going to look at this, they're going to say, this stinks too much for me to be around it. I got to absolve myself from this. And I think at that point you're going to see the end of the Trump presidency. I don't think he's going to last through 2019.
We are going to see the draining of the swamp.
Yeah.
The swamp will be completely drained, just about.
Mhm.
And you talk about, I don't think he can make the next 2 years.
Oh, no. I think he's done next year.
I don't think he can last out the first term. And God forbid that the so-called vice president should have to become president.
Well, he's up to his eyeballs too. I mean, Mike Pence needs to be worried too.
Yeah.
So let's not. I know a lot of people say, well, as bad as it is under Trump, now with Pence, we have someone who's competent to run through all these retrograde policies.
Yeah.
He needs to worry about his own future.
And he was, as we said many times on the show, he's actually worse than Trump, for some of the things that he's trying to do. And right there in Indiana, man, a lot of the things he was trying to do there, they said, wait a minute.
Oh, he's about to be run out of
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
He's going to be impeached.
They saying, wait a minute, So,
But first they elected him.
Yeah.
And it's always the same old okie doke.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna make you great again. You're our priority.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're gonna do for you and get these welfares and these Mexicans.
Yeah.
And then they screw them. And then they get mad and they vote for another Republican who says the same thing. They do the same old thing.
Yeah.
And it's because these people. I want people at home to realize when I say illiterate, I'm not saying illiterate. Illiterate means you can read, you just don't read.
You're right. Yeah.
And you got these people who pick up a Bible, go to church. They don't open it up and read it.
No.
They pick up that Bible to go to church. They write that 10% check.
Yeah.
And they sit there and let Reverend Hoopenholler tell them how good they are and how their problems are everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
And to a certain extent, there are things that are outside their control that are screwing them, that they can't control, and they aren't their fault.
Yeah.
But rather than diagnose where the pain is coming from and who's causing it, they reflexively, happily blame it on others who don't look like that.
Well, that's like, way back in the 40s, 50s, as I've said many times that these people in bad shape, but as long as they figure that you're gonna be in worse shape, blacks, Hispanics, and non-white,
It's all good.
Yeah, okay. As long as we'll be barefooted in the wintertime, no shoes and no.
Will be all through the year.
Right, yeah, but as long as they are supposed to be poorer than we are, we satisfied.
Well, it's the old analogy, man. They're sitting there getting rained on, and rather than look up and see who's peeing on them, they look down and say, "Oh, y'all making my clothes wet.
Yeah,
It's your fault.
Yeah.
You Hispanic,
Yeah.
you illegal,
Yeah.
you black,
Yeah.
you woman that doesn't know her place."
Right, yeah.
It's like, man, would you please, once in your life, spend a week just reading the newspaper? And even if they tell you it's fake, just read it, amuse me, and start connecting some dots and realize where your misery is coming from.
Yeah.
The fact that your jobs are sent overseas is not the fault of somebody who's coming to the border, just approaching the border seeking political asylum. Is their right.
Yeah.
Is their international right based on treaties that the United States is a signatory for. It is not illegal to come here and seek political asylum. But, Trump separates women and from their children, fathers from their children, throws people in concentration camps called tents.
Yeah.
And then this illiterate base out there says, "Yeah, I like that. It's being tough."
Yeah. And
you pick up a book, man.
And
They think that's tough. Trump's tough. He's tough.
Speaking of those people, man, they were showing a lady yesterday, lady from Honduras, and she's 7 months pregnant and had 2 kids, 2 small kids, and she was 7 months pregnant, and she said she can't go back to Honduras because she she'd be dead, and her kids probably would be dead. You know.
Listen, you talk about these people. I'm going to look at a little twist to it. I am hoping that all the minority races in this country would take serious note of what just happened in this last election. Not only the fact that so many people turn from red to blue, to green.
Okay.
Green,
Blue.
to blue.
Yeah, they turn from
Well,
red.
green is good too.
Yeah, yeah.
Turn
They
to
turn
blue.
from
Green.
they turn from red.
Yeah,
you
you was
know.
right the first time. Blue.
Yeah.
Yes. But
You like go
if
blue.
these people would take note of this, look at how the president is treating their people.
The president.
Yeah, the president treating their people, all these Hispanics you just mentioned at the border, those who are yet coming, this caravan that was coming and the military was given order to shoot,
Man.
not knowing that the military couldn't do anything like that.
No.
But when a man is gonna willingly, ready and willing to turn loose cannons on your people, how could you still say, I'm gonna vote for him? Yes, I like him. He's tough.
Yeah.
Man, he's tough till he gets you. Then what happened now? He ain't not tough anymore? You talk about these people, that's not all. Trump is setting his sights on people with green cards and naturalized citizens.
Yeah.
He has set his sights on them. He wants them out. But then Trump has to remember he will have to go too, because in reality, his parents are not from here.
No.
And allegedly, his mother was here illegally. Allegedly, his present wife is here was here illegally.
Well, it's not alleged.
Yeah. She was.
She was an illegal alien. Well, let's call it what it is. She's an illegal immigrant who overstayed her visa. She brought her parents over here illegally. Talk about chain migration, and now she's had a couple anchor babies. So all of those things that they're so adamant are a threat to the very functioning of the United States is what she represents.
Yeah.
But again, she's of European descent, so maybe that's why it's exceptional.
Do you notice what happened here just a couple of days ago? She had a senior government official.
Fine.
Yeah.
Since when the
National
first lady-
security.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about agriculture or something.
No.
We're talking national security.
Yeah.
She had this woman fired.
Yeah.
Since when she got that power? In the first place, I wonder, why does the first lady need an office and all the staff? What is her job? What's her job description?
Well, the thing is, man, is that we see Trump as, and what really makes me angry is that people, he's just used to having his family, and then it's like, and now his family, unless I've been reading the wrong paper, his family is into it, and I think they're gonna really look at what his son.
They're all gonna be in it.
You talk about under the Russian investigation?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They're all gonna
Don Jr.'s probably got a sealed indictment waiting on him, and Melania, not Melania, his daughter. What's his daughter's name? Ivanka, I think it is. She ought to be a little worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
her husband is up to his
Yeah,
eyeballs.
Jared has probably got a sealed indictment waiting on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that next tier with Donald Jr., Roger Stone, Jared Kushner. There's some hitters that are going to go down now. And now you're getting to the crux of the matter. The people who conspired to defraud the United States. That's what these people did.
Yeah. And the thing is that, he, what I mean, it was just so, I get so angry when I look at him, but he said, well, I feel that these people, it's like, well, it's easy, it's like, man,
Like a child.
Yeah.
Like a child.
I can't wait until they pin your butt to to the wall. You know.
And most Americans feel that way. And you know, earlier I started to make this point, and I got kind of sidetracked, but the country's changing. The demographics are changing. The political attitude of the people on the right side of the demographics are changing. Where people, previous elections were apathetic, everything's going well, there's not much I can do anyway. People are starting to see the urgency of it and participating in the franchise. And as a result of that, you're seeing the political winds blowing in the progressive direction. The House, like I said, has won 37 additional seats. Many of those are unabashed progressives.
Right.
And I think in the Democratic Party right now, you're starting to see a come to Jesus meeting where some of these corporate, not conservatives, but I'd say middle of the road Democrats are starting to have a head-on collision with these new young lion Republican, young lion, Lion, progressives who are coming in and saying, no, we've got to change things. This prioritizing corporate interests over the needs of the people.
Right.
Those days are over.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we've seen so many young people be elected. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, we've seen one lady in New York.
Yeah, she's in her 20s.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're the people
beautiful
that
young lady. I mean, when they say beautiful,
Yeah.
just only
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
outside beauty.
And-
the girl has a brain.
Yeah.
She has a mind.
Yeah. And
you see, that's that generation that they have $125,000 in debt when they graduate college because they want to become a teacher or because they want to become an architect or whatever it is. That should not happen in the United States.
No.
We should be encouraging people to go to school because it's better for the country, and we should find a way to make it affordable, if not free. But the corporations want that money, man.
Yeah.
You know, they want that money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You see what Bloomberg did? $1.8 million.
Billion.
A billion, sorry. He donated to the school to make sure those who are eligible, who are qualified to go and can't because of finances, here is some money to help them through.
And that's a nice gesture. But I'm sick and tired of white oligarchs who call themselves progressives saying, I'm going to reach back and give you a little bit of money. Mark Zuckerberg, keep your money. My man from Apple, keep your money. Bloomberg, thank you, but keep your money. Let's use that money to change the voting system and to change the electorate so that we can have an awakening and know that what they do in Western Europe and Japan and Canada ain't exotic and it's not expensive. In other words, when you're born with this right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that freedom and that pursuit of happiness is all enrolled, entangled in this ability to educate yourself, have a good paying job, and have health care that's affordable when you and your family need it. That's what makes people happy. That's what the pursuit of happess is all about. That's what being free is. You can go from one job to another because you're not afraid to lose that good medical coverage. Let's get to that point in the discussion instead of saying, oh, benevolent white rich guy, give us enough money that we can have an education that's predicated on the academic ability and not the ability to pay.
Right.
We can do it. We don't need Bloomberg's money.
As a matter of fact, you know, the government has a responsibility to educate the people.
Of course.
But it has abdicated its responsibility long ago. And to make things worse, we have Republicans who have vowed to get rid of the Department of Education.
Oh yeah.
On top of that, we have somebody in there running the Department of Education who, how best to say,
know nothing about it.
Nothing of, you know, that's not their strong suit.
No.
Find people who are qualified to do the job, and let's get it done.
But a lot of us, man, remember when Trump was, before he was even elected, man, then right after he was elected, he kept putting these people, he kept giving these jobs to these people they know nothing about. And a few...
He just got a guy there acting Attorney General. He claims he didn't know anything about it.
Whitman.
A month before this happened, oh, he's a good guy, he did this, he that, and all that. Well, how come you don't know anything about him now?
Right, you know.
I heard him in an interview there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't know. I said, well, now that you know what happened, when did you know? Well, it's only now that I know. But, you know, it wouldn't have made any difference anyway.
Yeah, I don't know this guy.
Yeah,
he worked for Jeff Sessions.
yeah,
I don't know this
yeah,
guy.
you know.
A few months ago, I know him very
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
Yeah.
He's an inveterate liar.
Yeah.
And he put Whitman in there rather, because he's looking for a firewall between him and the Mueller
Yeah, yep,
investigation. He wants to find out what's going on in it. And this guy is. I think he hoped that this was going to be his Hail Mary. But as we've seen this move forward, I think the reality's kicking in. We've had a lot of Trump-appointed judges recently render rulings that were against Trump, and I think Whitmer has so much pressure on him and so much scrutiny on him that his lack of qualifications, his lack of integrity, all the things he said in the past about he's going to shut down this investigation, he's going to defund it so that they can't function.
Right.
All these things are starting to come to the fore, and as more and more information comes out, I think his ability to function as this firewall for Trump is going to be diminished. And to Padgett's earlier point, the man's just not qualified to be an attorney general.
No.
And most importantly, if he had impeccable credentials, if he went to the best law schools in the world, he still has not been Senate confirmed.
Yeah.
And without that, he shouldn't be.
You're supposed to be.
Yeah. It has to be.
Yeah.
As a
He has
matter
to
of
be.
fact, the line of succession, he has no business being there. He was chief of staff.
Yeah.
He wasn't even an attorney in the department.
No.
And all of a sudden he's acting
Yeah.
for all these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And if you look at the line of succession, it's obvious that the guy who should be there is
Rosenstein.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kangaroo court. It's a kangaroo administration. It's a banana Republican administration. But I think the momentum is rapidly picking up on this downward slope towards Agent Orange and his ultimate demise. I think the man's done.
You know what? You could understand why he had such a rampage in the White House the other day.
Yeah.
He's attacking everybody because he knows his time is short. And therefore, he's striking out at everybody, and it's everybody's fault. You didn't protect me. You didn't do this. And you know, something came in my head earlier. Let me try it now, we come back up. You were talking about the only Republican president in recent time who was there without any shenanigans. Do you realize when you look at Nixon and Trump, how much similarity? You realize Nixon went over to Vietnam. Didn't go personally, but he had his henchwoman to boycott the negotiations to bring that war to an end.
Well, what they did is they promised the Vietnamese, the North Vietnamese and the Viet Cong, a better deal than what the they absolutely are traitors.
And look what happened. The whole thing was exposed. Johnson had it. Here, the Russian thing was exposed. Obama had it. And in both cases, it was decided not to throw it out there at this time because of the impact. They acted so gentlemanly. But look what your boy Agent Orange is doing.
Yeah.
He even cursing people on his own party who lost.
Yeah. Well, you know, all I want to do is stir it, pile up stuff on him, you know.
And it's coming.
And it's easy too because he's such a he's got the tact of a bull in a china shop. I mean, almost every week it's a new charge of obstruction of justice that he brings on himself because of his big mouth.
Yeah, you know.
And his impulsivity. This whole thing with Whitmer, that's obstruction of justice. You know why he didn't want to bring Rosen. You know why he fired Sessions as soon as the elections were over.
Yeah.
And you know why he didn't put Rosenstein in there. Because he wants a kangaroo court with a fraud. Through Whitmer, he'd have control of the entire investigation. Yeah.
What do you believe? What do you believe will be the first thing that what's the name session?
You mean Whitmer, the acting AG?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What do you believe he will do? You know.
Well, I think he may have. I don't know this, but because there's no way to know. But I think one of the things he may have done already, and if not, will do, is try to find as much as he can about the breadth and depth of this investigation, and give Agent Orange an idea of what's coming at him, and completely inappropriate. But on the other hand, I think if he's done it, and there's a lot of people who think he's done it already, it could be a reason why that Trump is acting so erratic and impulsive and angry, and that is a relative scale because that's who he is. He always acts that way, but it's even worse lately. And I think since Whitmer got in this illegitimate position, he's had the ability to see some of this information that Mueller has and tell Agent Orange exactly what's coming his way. So I think that's the first thing Whitmer probably did, is try to give him lay of the land, show him which way the grass is growing and the wind is blowing. But past that, I think the next thing he'd try to do is defund and cripple the investigation. And then the third thing I think he'd try to do is suppress information so the Mueller report would never see the light of day. That's what I think. And that's why it was so important. It was just absolutely imperative that the Democrats won the House. When the Democrats won the House, as disappointed as I was for Gillum and Abrams in Georgia and in Florida and O'Rourke in Texas, that was the icing. The cake was the House. And now that we have the House, all those shenanigans are now irrelevant because they're going to say, we'll release it, and we're having our own investigation, and we're going to subpoena people, and we're going to ask real questions. And they're going to answer under oath with the power of the perjury conviction hanging over their head, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And all you people out there in America are going to find out about it, what these jokers have been up to.
As far as one of the things that this guy would have to do, he will have to go up before the House Judicial Committee. Then have to answer questions on the vote before the public. So even if he tries to hide them now, he still will have to bring it out. So it's coming.
We got about a half a minute, but the woman from California, what you think she's going to run in 2020?
Feinstein?
No. The one that's so sharp.
Pelosi?
No. The one that's really sharp. She's about 40 years old, 41 or something like that, and she was on the thing with Al Sharpton the other day. Elisa Harris. I think. Anyway, her and the guy from Texas, they real sharp.
Well, Beto O'Rourke is that's Bobby Kennedy reincarnated. In fact, I said that to you weeks ago. That dude is impressive. I wish I knew who this Harris woman you were talking about is, but
Elisa Harris, that's her name.
Okay, yeah, very sharp.
Yeah.
In the Senate right now?
Yeah.
That would be a formidable and truly progressive Democratic ticket.
Yeah.
And they're young.
Yeah.
And I think they would electrify young people out here to vote.
Okay. We probably went over a minute. We probably went a minute or something over, but
and I still ain't been paid.
My name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and we catch you down at the next block. Peace.
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.